Today, we're going to talk about the 3 ways Facebook ads' new AI changes are helping coaches get 6-figure buyers and why these latest changes on Facebook are making it easier than ever before, why our return on ad spend, our profits are like, we've never seen anything like this. So as you probably know, Facebook's always making changes, but recently they made some really big changes. And if you're on the good side of those changes, it's the best thing ever. If you're on the bad side of those changes, you probably are going to go to business if you don't change and if you're using Facebook. If you're a coach and you're not using Facebook, you need to pay attention. If you're a coach and you are using Facebook ads, you need to make these 3 changes. And here's what you need to know. So the first thing right now that's helping us and that's changed, which is the best change ever, is everything is messaging based now. What I mean by this is targeting is virtually gone. And I've talked about this in other videos and stuff like that, but Facebook's basically removed all interest group targeting, 98% of it. So if you're targeting people looking for certain weight loss keywords, or you're like a business coach and you're targeting John Maxwell or Tony Robbins and stuff like that, all gone. Okay. And so why is that a good thing? If you know what you're doing. So here's one of the things that it did. It made it really easy for let's say you were a leadership coach and you were targeting followers of John Maxwell. Well, anybody can do that, right? So you would have like millions of coaches going into the ads manager and typing in targeting options, John Maxwell, hypothetically, or Tony Robbins, right? And so the amount of advertisers running ads to that interest group was just insanity. And so the costs were high because everybody's trying to run their ads to followers of whoever, right? And so it inflated the cost. And so now by those interest groups being gone, what it's doing is it's giving coaches who understand messaging a competitive advantage because you no longer are competing with these low-end coaches who don't know what they're doing at all. And they're all just targeting followers of John Maxwell, hypothetically. Okay. So it's actually lowering the costs, and also it's getting better qualified people because you're able to use the messaging instead of the targeting. So if you're targeting 6-figure, executives or 6-figure middle managers or people, professionals looking to lose weight or whatever it is, we're able now to target based on that and not be restricted with competing with all these other people in these interest groups. And the secret is, there's a secret to this. It's the feedback loop. Okay. So the reason why it works is because when you get qualified people clicking your ad and registering, it's telling your conversion event, so people who registered, where to go into your audience to find more people like that. And so it's working better than ever. Now, you still want to make sure your audience size is around roughly the 2 million range, but that's the first thing. Now, the second thing you need to realize that's made this thing even better for coaches who know what they're doing. Just before I get to that, make sure you hit the subscribe button on this video. We create all kinds of videos. I've spent millions on Facebook ads. Been doing this since 2003. Started with Google ads and worked my way up and all the way. And I've been doing this before the coaching industry even started. So we're constantly creating trainings for you and content for you based on what we're doing, what we're seeing. And so you want to hit the subscribe button somewhere around this video if you're watching it on YouTube so that you get notified when all my videos come out, because it's all free. So subscribe now. All right. So the second thing that's happened, and the second change that's made things really powerful, is that your most important asset is no longer your ad copy, no longer the targeting. It's the image. Okay. And what we're seeing is that the ad messaging on your image is now determining the success of how Facebook is able to find qualified people. In this case, 6-figure earners, if that's who you're trying to target. And so what we do is we are able to use a special type of image with the messaging on it that stops the scroll. Because remember, everybody's scrolling Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And so we want to stop the scroll. But it's very important, remember, that roughly 95% of the job of your ad is to actually make people not click on it. In fact, 97%, 98%, because, you can scale a multi six-figure a month coaching business on a 2% click-through rate, link click-through rate. So really 98%, 97% is do not let those people click. But the problem that coaches have been having is they get these aspirational people clicking like, oh, I don't make six figures a year, but boy, I'd sure love to. And then again, I'm talking in every market, whether you're teaching dating, relationship, marriage, weight loss, any of that kind of stuff. So what we do is we use the image with a lot of copy on it that basically repels people and makes the right people stop. Okay. And so I want to make give you a couple thoughts on this. The first one is do not use video ads first. That is a huge mistake that we're seeing coaches make right now. And there's a couple reasons for this. The first thing is video ads are incredibly complicated to create if you've never done one before. You need professional editing. I see coaches all the time doing video ads that they did themselves, and you can tell they did it themselves, and it looks terrible. The other reason is we need to get the messaging nailed down before we start doing video ads, or it doesn't work. The next reason why video ads are bad to start with is because the time it takes, if you're getting them professionally edited, you got to create it, you got to do all this stuff, get it professionally edited, send it off, get it back, all of this stuff. I mean, it could be 4 or 5 days, where the way we do them, we can redo them daily, right? The other problem with video ads is that they don't qualify people very well, because oftentimes people don't have their volume on. And by the time they pay attention to what's happening on that video or hit the volume button, if they're not looking at the closed caption, the qualifying parts of your ad have already gone. You've already said, hey, this is only for six-figure women who are professionals, trying to lose weight or whatever. Well, that's already been said. And now they're just paying attention to the rest of the ad. So it doesn't actually get the qualifier in. So don't use that. And the other thing is a lot of people are making a mistake of using Instagram and Facebook. Don't do that. Look, Instagram's amazing. We get about 50% of our followers or people who work with us off Instagram. But the problem is you got to make this thing work, this image ad work on Facebook first and then move it to Instagram, not the other way around, because it just seems to work better. That's what we found. But both traffic sources work good. But if they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, because you only need what? If you're charging $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 maximum, you need 10 new clients a month. Okay. You're never going to be able to buy all the traffic on either of them. So that's the things you need to know. So you need to understand that the most important asset right now is your image, because it stops them, it qualifies them, it repels people, and Facebook sees what's on that image. So I'll tell you right now, we're constantly testing images, and those images can make all the difference in the world. All right. So once you get your messaging nailed down, then start testing the images and make them copy based going forward. All right. Now, the third thing that we're seeing, and this is a big change, you got to pay attention to this. Mini celebrity status ads are more important than ever before. Now, so micro targeting. Well, didn't I just say targeting was gone? Let me explain. Okay. There's a number that we have. It's the number 58. And then that number 58 that's the average time it takes from somebody who sees or registers for our stuff before they buy. Some people move forward with us within 2 days, 3 days, others 140 days or whatever. But on average, it takes almost 2 months. And that's historically going to be the norm for your coaching niche right now. And so what you need to realize is that this whole one and done marketing that coaches are doing is dead. It's gone. It is over. And what coaches are doing, 99% of coaches, they're taking somebody from an ad or a Facebook post or whatever, taking them to some piece of content, which is most likely created by ChatGPT and it's garbage, and then getting them to book a call. And then that's it. Or they'll follow up with them on Facebook or whatever, email them their newsletter once a week. You got to understand, if you're going to get 10 clients, okay, one of them might come from that linear funnel. The other 9 are probably going to come through the follow-up system. And if you don't have that dialed in through micro-targeting ads, you are done. You can't make the math work. So what do we do, and what does that mean? So what mini celebrity status ads are these ads that only go to people who have hit different points of your funnel and not taken an action. So it's going to start people who click on your ad and hit your registration page but don't register, boom, they're going to get a little ad. It's a teeny little ad only going to those people. What about people who register and don't book a call? They're going to get an ad. And then people, all the way through, people on your email list, people in your community, all that kind of stuff, they're all going to get these little micro-targeted ads. And because those audiences are so small, they're super cheap, like $1 or $2 a day. Because here's the problem. Look, email's amazing if you get somebody's email address, but the bottom line is as time goes, the open rates drop. It's just the way it is. People move. Your email service provider just sends them to spam, all this kind of stuff, or they get tired of your emails. And the other problem is with an email, you only have this little subject line to use. And if you're not super good at it, they don't open them. So the open rates on emails are boom, right? They go down. That's just the way it is. So what can you do? Well, you can get them to follow you on social media, right? Once they register for your stuff. But here's the problem. The reach right now is between 0 and 5% on average. So if you've got 1,000 followers on your Facebook page or your Facebook group or whatever, wherever, it doesn't even matter. Okay. When you put out a post, at best, you're going to get 30 of them to see it. And at best, maybe 1% of those are going to click it. So if you get 30 views on a post, that means that at 1% click-through rate, it's going to be 0.3. So basically, or something like that. You're going to get like a 1 click. And then how many 1 clicks do you need to book a call? A ton of them. So that's why we hook in these mini celebrity status ads and we micro-target them. And Facebook allows us to do that. They love it because it's so focused, but it's not based on interest groups. It's based on people who've hit different points on your site. And then we can move them to the next level. And when they see your ads, they're like, oh my gosh, who is this person? I see them everywhere. They must be really important. And it builds their status up. And again, they're super cheap. If your main ads say $20 a day, your cold traffic ad or 10 or whatever, these little ones are only like $1 a day. Okay. But they're very powerful because you got to remember one thing. It's going to take on average somebody probably a month or more before they buy from you from when they first meet you. Look, 2-3 years ago in 2021 or something like that, it was inverted. 80% of the people who bought from you within 2 to 3 days of seeing your stuff. Didn't matter what the price point. But because we're in a trust recession now, nobody trusts anybody. Funnels are creating distrust. People's minds are so full of conflicting information. It's not that they think you're some scam. It's just they don't trust anybody. And so you're going to get, 1 or 2 out of 10 of your sales, boom, right away. And those are people who are ready to buy. They love what you have, but the rest needs some time. So now we're seeing these micro ads hook in and do an amazing job at getting people to want to buy from you. So that's what you have to do in order to make this work going forward. This is the future because, like I said, organic's dead, and this is the way it goes. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to make those 3 changes going forward and do this because listen to me. Here's what's happening. The Facebook has become, if you know what you're doing, you can be incredibly successful at it. If you don't, you will fail miserably. And what you need to realize is what I just explained to you is the future. It is the future, and it's going to keep working better and better and better because it's the way Facebook's AI is going. But the problem is if you're a coach right now and you're doing your ads the wrong way, you're giving Facebook data points, and those data points are creating feedback loops to give you more of the same garbage you're getting. So if you're getting garbage leads and garbage quality, it's creating those feedback loops to give you more and more of it. And you need to fix that. Now, if you are not running Facebook ads, what are you thinking? Okay. Millions of people are becoming coaches all the time in your market. Your market's getting flooded. You have to scale with ads, period, because organic reach is dying. Competitors are coming on. And the way I just laid it out for you is the best way to scale your coaching business to that $10, $20, $50, $100,000 a month. So here's the thing is you're going to pay 2 ways, one of 2 ways, either by spending a ton of money and time to figure this out, if you ever do. And I can tell you for a fact that this calendar year, every single coach's ad account I have looked at, who I've done a Zoom call with, has been screwed up. Not 100. It didn't work. And so we had to fix it 100%. Okay. Or get some help. Okay. Because figuring this stuff out on your own is like trying to become a dentist by watching YouTube videos. So here's what we want to do. We want to do a free call with you. There's nothing to even buy on this call. It's going to be a 15-minute call, 5, 10, 15 minute call. We're going to look at your stuff. We're going to give you feedback on how the mini celebrity status ads ecosystem works, how to hook it up, what you need to do, give you personalized feedback, tell you numbers that you need to be thinking about that are working in your market for pricing, for ad spend, what's working, what's not working, give you some feedback. There's nothing to buy. Plus, we're going to unlock some videos, some training in our Skool community that is normally reserved for clients. And this is for you because you're a member of our free Skool community. We're going to give you this call. So get on, book that call, the links below or in the pinned comment section, because look, you know what, as of this recording, it's September 28th, 2025. And the best days are coming in the coaching space because that's the fall coming into the Christmas season, the holiday season. People really are more heightened to want coaching, and you got to get this right. So instead of just waiting around, hoping it gets better, posting on Instagram, creating LinkedIn stuff, this is what's happening. This is what's working. And if you know how to use the AI properly, it's working in your favor, and it's going to help you scale your coaching business like never before, or you're going to miss out on what really the biggest boom in the coaching industry and stuck with your 26 followers in your free Facebook group, and they all want free calls and they're all completely broke. It's pretty simple. So book the call. We're going to help you, show you what's working, what price points are working, how some of our clients are scaling and making 10s, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 months using these strategies here, and then give you the trainings and you can go on your way. All right. Click the link below, book your call, and hopefully this is helpful.